Hey Sagittarius, good morning and happy solstice. The winter solstice, beautiful, beautiful. The longest night, right? It's where we kind of deal with our shadow so that we can bring in the light. I mean, that's the short version. It's also the first day of winter, also the first day of Capricorn season. So just a few kind of tidbits for solstice for, even if you like don't celebrate, if you're not of a pagan persuasion, anyone can. I mean, it's just like calling in a new season. It is. I love rituals and it's very beautiful, and there are some simple things that you can do to celebrate. Have a good hearty meal, Sag, with people you care about. Because nothing brings people together like food. You can also decorate, and I like to, like for solstice and the season celebrations, I like to involve nature, Sag. So, you can decorate with holly and pine needles, leaves, anything. I mean, bring stuff from outside. It definitely is kind of like an offering for your ancestors. It's also a day that I typically, or a night anyway, that I use that to commune with my ancestors. So, particularly, my mother passed a few years ago. So, I do this whole thing where I spend some time thinking about my mother. I put pictures out of my mother, and I offer her a glass of wine because she did love some wine, y'all. And talk about good memories, or write about good memories. I write a letter to my mother, and that is something that I have found really helps with grief, because grief kind of never leaves us, right? And spiritual bath and meditation, we are reflecting on this past season. So definitely with journaling, it's a good time to write about what you've achieved this year and what you want to call in, because this is highly manifesting. It really is. And so, any manifestation techniques that you enjoy, I like to find, this is okay, as far as the Yule log, right? I'm sure you've heard the concept of burning the Yule log. I don't burn it, but what I will do is find like a tree log of sorts, right? And I write on it. I write what I want to call in, I write what I'm letting go, and then I wrap it in green and red ribbon, and I just keep it. I keep it the whole year. Okay, so, and what you can also do is, as you manifest things, you can kind of, cross them off, stuff like that. So there's lots of stuff you can do. There's the simmer pot, which is pretty much just like a pot with cranberries, oranges, to attract, manifesting energy. Like oranges help you to manifest money. Burn a red candle. There's tons of stuff you can do. And it's fun. It's fun. So I thought today I would do a solstice reading so we can take a look at our new season. But the energy that may be affecting you today, what, Sag? What the heck? Seems like a lot of stuff going on within the home space that you want to be careful of, because we're seeing fourth house. Okay, your fourth house is home, family, that type of thing. And people people could be a little sensitive today, a little aggressive in the way they talk, and I feel intuition is here because this is Cancer energy. I kind of feel like you just know that this too shall pass, right? I just feel like you're not really paying attention to it, to be honest. But, watch your own temper, I guess, in terms of people speaking aggressively, because people are just maybe seeming a little oversensitive today. And we don't I don't know, we tend to affect people who are overly sensitive. I always say, if you're too sensitive, you can't be my friend. That's just how it is. It just doesn't work because, with Sagittarius, we at times very much lack a filter. So people who are sensitive will take us wrong. And, my roommate is a Cancer rising, so I have to be careful at times. Definitely, underneath the deck is the Fool. So definitely a new season coming in, right? So we took a look at the dark and the light Sagittarius. So the darkness that may be coming up for you, because this is a good time, a good night to do shadow work. And shadow work can really consist of, what am I ignoring? What am I, what is standing in my way? It kind of also too is like, how am I getting in my own way? Basically, that's what I always think of. Shadow work isn't complicated. It really isn't. So in terms of the shadow, there may be some stuff coming up. Now, this is really interesting because beauty and safe home, it's kind of this energy of doing more work to feel comfortable within your own skin, to, appreciating the beauty definitely of where you are. And I find, and this is true, and, you can fight me in the comments, but one of Sagittarius's biggest hindrance is, it is why Sagittarius is always searching. Okay, we struggle sometimes with a sense of home, a sense of belonging, right? And so, that can be an issue, and so it may make us sometimes, doubt ourselves, and that is our struggle. So you may be dealing with, a sense of belonging, and this is really leading you just towards more self-acceptance. I feel like it is one of those things that Sagittarius grows into, because we're different. Okay. We're different, so it's difficult sometimes, and accepting our uniqueness, and we grow into that though. And so there may be some stuff coming up about that, and which is calling for you to accept the beauty within, find the belonging within, and especially finding the beauty and the belonging in your current situation. You're always where you're supposed to be, like at all times. So if you see the good in it, it really helps you to pull things to you. Yes, okay, so what's the light, Sagittarius? Divine guidance. Whispers from beings who shine. Let their message be clear and kind. So your intuition could be really opening up your connection to spirit guides and, ancestors. You could be definitely following divine guidance and really getting a lot of messages. A lot of downloads, Sagittarius. What was underneath, what's on the bottom is interesting. True healing, true love, and healing. Okay. So there could be love coming in. There could be, for some, this could be healing with someone you consider your true love. That could happen. But there is a lot about emotion in Sagittarius's next season. definitely. Because your personal growth in this season, Sag, is the Eight of Cups and the King of Cups. This is really being at peace with what you had to walk away from. And also, you're really doing what's good for you emotionally. And that doesn't mean, ignoring it. You're definitely facing it full on. I actually feel like I thought that this last year was going to be that, but I do feel like Sag is entering their soft season. So, there is definitely a lot going on in terms of emotions, right? And you're just good with everything. You probably maybe walked away from things that your heart was attached to, and you're just good with it. And you definitely are processing emotions and coming into an emotional balance, right? You're not letting things bother you. Okay, so love that. Love that, Sag. The overall energy is really interesting too. The Page of Wands came out for this is how you're being led this season. Trying new things, new directions, discovery, learning, and coming at it from a beginner's mind for sure, but with the energy that a child would have. Your sense of wonder, Sag, is really being sparked, and it is leading you on new adventures and the like. I really love this, right? I do. As far as your love life, Sag, that's really interesting because I just feel like stability is the name of the game, Sag. Okay? It is. Because we have the Knight of Pentacles, the Two of Pentacles, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Eight of Wands. If it isn't stable, I don't want it. Basically. With the Two of Pentacles, and I feel like that's where you're at. You may really be focused on you, on creating stability in your life, and you may be more focused on financial stability than you are love. And I said what I said. I said what I said, but you're also taking your time, which is directly opposite of a Sagittarian's nature. We are not, right? I feel like you aren't going to go all in the way you usually do, because this is the way Sagittarius is. We go all in. We give 180%, even in our relationships. And I feel like you're not doing that because you'd rather take things slow if you're approaching love, because you're also really concerned with yourself and your stability and your work and your finances. So, and it kind of says too that you're not going to make moves in love unless you see signs of stability and unless it is part of where you see yourself going. And so, yeah, I love that energy actually. As far as your finances, I feel like this year you will be overcoming a lot of things that have really been holding you down, getting in your way financially. So, because this year is going to be all about overcoming obstacles. And you may be really busy, is what the Ten of Wands says. You could be really busy. It could be a little overwhelming at times, but you got this, Sag. I mean, what's wrong with busy? But it's just you want to really watch for burnout, but this year's all about you taking things out the way, getting rid of, overcoming obstacles and burdens in your finances so that eventually you can lift that load. But for 2024, it may seem very busy, and it might be a tad bit overwhelming, but you got it. You can do it. So it does actually feel like you might be working more than usual. Maybe it's because you're trying to knock things out of the way. You know, definitely thinking about the future. Then in the future, you don't have to work so hard because the Ten of Wands is completion. And this is what you're doing this for. It's so eventually you don't have to take on so much. You know, I like it. I like it. So in terms of your darkness, what might hinder you? Too much thinking and not enough doing, Sag. Because we have the Queen of Swords with the Two of Wands. I mean, it's exactly thinking about what you should do. The Queen of Swords is also about information, okay? And so this is really interesting, but I kind of feel like you might be too logical. And you want to watch that, or you want to watch the thought process that you need more information. Like, you know, sometimes, Sag, you just got to try. Just got to just do it. And it's so interesting that this should come through for you, Sag, because we're actually the most impulsive sign, you know, there is. But, you know, there's just a sense of trying to make too much sense out of things, maybe being a little too realistic, because you're really being called to enjoy your sense of wonder, to not know where things are going to go. You know, that is the Queen of Wands as well. It is. And so, you know, things will work out. What your light is, what is rising, what is going forward, is the King of Wands, the Magician, the Ten of Swords. Your old life is over, Sag. Whatever you perceived as your old life, which the problems, being hurt, whatever, you know, the Ten of Swords can be betrayal, but it's also about problems and things ending. You're making that happen. So the King of Wands, the Magician, and the Ten of Swords, you literally are overcoming issues. And I really feel like you may be thinking about life a lot differently, and what you want might be changing. Always keep that in mind, because dreams change. They just do. It doesn't like put our old dreams to rest, but you might just be seeing things a lot differently. And it's basically saying that your old life is over. Your old life is over, Sag. The Queen of Wands is on the bottom with Judgment. Oh my goodness. Like for real, for real. And the Sun. Like, Sagittarius. The past is gone. You're like, what is illuminating is abundance. You're going to be really abundant, Sag. Look at this. The Page of Swords and the Empress. With the Three of Wands. Your old life is over, Sag. And it's interesting because, you know, sometimes the delay in the Three of Wands, the thing that holds us back from a new life are details. I feel like you're working out details, Sag. There's so much here about new beginnings and new life. Yes. Sagittarius. And you know, like, you could be clearing debt, Sag. And so that might involve working a little harder than you normally would, but you're setting yourself up for not having to work hard in the future, because that's a completion. And you did have 10-10, and so definitely we are completing that clearing energy. Okay. All right, Sag. So let's take a look and see what your ancestors would like to tell you. Let's see, Sag. So what does Sagittarius' ancestors have to tell them? Sagittarius. Thank you to everyone who has supported this channel in any way that you possibly can. And whoever sent me a Christmas gift, thank you so much. I don't even know who it was, because there was. But I was very humbled by your generosity and so happy. So thank you. Okay, Sag. Sorry. So what is the message what message do you have for Sagittarius? What message do you have for Sagittarius? Okay. Let's see, Sag. The Empress, what, Sagittarius? Page of Wands reverse. Oh. And the Four of Swords. I feel like your ancestors, one, they want you to take your healing seriously. They don't want you to be impulsive or, you know, the Page of Wands reversed is such a curious energy. You know, I kind of feel like you might be healing from people who make bad decisions. People who make, because we're seeing the Four of Swords here. So there's a lot of healing. And I feel like they're telling you that you actually are going in the right direction, right? These cards are a little different. This is the Angel deck. And they're telling you to focus on your own healing, to not let people who aren't ready for healing to drag you back. You know, don't let them take you to a place that you have grown from, and don't let anyone who isn't ready for healing interfere with your own healing. Yeah. Five of Cups is on the bottom with the Star. Oh. And the Nine of Pentacles. You know, and, you know, don't focus on sadness or loss or regret. You don't have time for that because you're going somewhere. The Star and the Nine of Pentacles really, it's like you're headed to a higher place. And so you have to be really careful about, one, letting other people drag you down. Two, you know, we're not convincing people to heal. We're focusing on our own healing. And if they eventually catch up, that's great. But we're not going to focus on what we've lost. We're going to focus on where we're going and what we are acquiring. Okay, Sag. So I guess they told you, focus on your own healing, Sag. Don't worry what other people are doing. And it's like you keep, you know, we can only help so much. Okay. So, okay. What is your mindful message for today, Sagittarius? Mindful message. I pretty much take today off, but sort of. I only do half the stuff. Sagittarius. What is Sagittarius's mindful message? Sagittarius is, oh, okay. Oh, you are on the edge of greatness, Sagittarius. The universe is opening doors for me, bringing opportunities my way. I don't crumble at the edge of my greatness. I take the opportunities that come and walk through the doors with confidence. Oh, they want you to make a inspiration board. If I am ever feeling down or bored, I spend time creating a vision board to place in my home. Fill it with quotes, pictures, and desires that bring me inspiration and joy. I feel like they want you to create a vision board, Sag. Create a vision board. Do it. Okay, Sagittarius, happy solstice.